Everyone, stick with us versus herd. If it's your first time here, like the content, hit subscribe if you want to get notifications for when we go live. Tap the bell below. If you want to join the UvH fam or our Discord, links are below to our free options trading group along with our Discord. We're back again tonight with the watch list. I've been trying to switch things up a bit. If this content is of value to you, leave me a comment below. Let me know what you think about it. If you like it, dislike it. If you do like it, hit the thumbs up. It really helps me out with these videos, and we're going to be getting right into it. First off, we're going to be looking at TLT. As you can see today, the yield curve worsened today, and with that being said, we have the 30-year here just right below 2%. And things are looking pretty dicey on the interest rates here. As you can see, we've just been kind of coasting. Now we're below 2%, and they're saying they're really concerned about a negative interest rates in the U.S. And with that, we'll be using TLT to measure bonds. And the one thing that I'll be looking at TLT here is normally it's not a big mover, as you can kind of see here, but recently it's been moving from ever since it broke out to 135. It's been on a tear, and it's had some good movement for both sides. And over the last couple of days, the rates were kind of decreasing and bonds were going up. And as you can see here, we're getting a little toppy. And what I'd be looking for a trade here is, seeing if it's going to break this 52-week high, potential strangle. We can see that. Premium here is not that expensive. It has a $2 expected move. Today it did move $2.24. So we'll see if we can get some good pricing on this on TLT. So it's not something I normally trade, but when it's time to trade it, it's time to trade it. So we'll be looking for a play on in here. Also SPY, looking at SPY. With the two-sided action today, we had the gap up and then we had the fade. That's kind of what I was looking for yesterday. It just came a day later, and that's the thing. You can't always time the market. And looking at, kind of today, how they just kind of hammered that down. And then we had, the interest rates and just the overall media and the tone of the market was pretty bearish. And then we had, they pretty much slammed the door on the close today. Dropped from 287.67 down to 286.76, so almost $1 drop versus yesterday it went from 286.74 up to 287.98, so it went up $1. So I was expecting a gap down tomorrow, and what I'm looking for here is kind of a retest of the 285 284 area. Not sure if we're going to get it. I am positioned for that, but kind of see what happens. I mean, we could be trending back up here to 293, but I'm kind of erring on the side that it's going to be more bearish and looking at the 284, 285 area, and then we can kind of realign what we want to do here. Another one that I'll be watching tomorrow is Costco. And people are like, hey, why did Costco go up? And Costco opened up its first store in China. This is a terrible screenshot, and they said they were forced to shut its first China store after thousands crowded the wholesaler and caused traffic jams outside the store, which is pretty crazy. And they said that China's embracing Costco. Now they've only opened one store. No one knows if it's going to be a long-term thing. Also with the trade war and all that thing, but today, Costco's up. Good 5%, $13 today. We had the let's see here. We had calls are up. I don't know if you guys can see that, 6,000, 5,000%, and nobody was expecting these moves. I mean, you had the 290 calls here. 290 calls yesterday. They were 13 cents, and today they went 525. Just insane. And that pretty much breaks it out of cycle here. So we're going to see if it wants to retrace back here down to the 280, 282 area, or want to make its push above 300. So we're going to be eyeing that. For me, it's a big movement. For a lot of trade uncertainty, and for them to only open just one store. And sure, it could be a gigantic hit in China, and maybe you could say Costco was undervalued, and whatever the case is, their earnings have been decent. They've been going up, ever since they hit 189. They've been moving up to 293. So I mean, they've almost doubled in the last year, last 6 months, 8 months, something like that. So, but it definitely moved big, $13. So that's something that we'll be keeping an eye on tomorrow for the options. One of the stocks I didn't trade today that I wish I did was Nvidia, and Nvidia just got cut down. They gapped up and then they just dropped all day long, 167 to 161. There's definitely some premiums in here, and you're like, oh, that wasn't, that's not so big, only 45%. But let's look at these 160s here, these 160 puts for this week. This morning they opened at 84 cents. They went up to $3. Pretty big there. And what I'm looking for on Nvidia, really, if we can break below 160, the 150 area, 155 would be my initial target for that. I'll be playing it to like 150 and see if it's going to visit the low 150s. Is kind of what I'm thinking, because they've just been hammering down Nvidia, and it just can't seem to. Even on green days, it's having some trouble. Should have put a position on yesterday, didn't, and then we had the gap up, and then. I thought the reason why I thought that it had potential of going up to, 170, 172 and kind of gravitating towards that. But after today, even though the market wasn't even down that much, I mean, they just hammer this thing to death, before letting it out. So I wouldn't be surprised, 155 this week, maybe even early next week. So, we'll see what happens. Netflix is another one. That I'm looking at as well, and as you can see here, it's been making lower highs on the daily. We had 302, then we had 300, and then we had 298, and then we had 296, and then 295, and now it touched 287, which is a weekly low for Netflix. But what's more interesting to me is the 1 year chart. I have been talking about that it has been making lower highs, and there was two-sided action here, but I mean, it pretty much just been getting hammered down all week long, ever since last week. And what's going to be interesting to me right here is right below the 285 area. If it goes like 285, I definitely think we're going to be hitting like the 260s, 270s. Let me get that for you so you can get a better idea of what I'm looking at. The 260, 270 area right in here, where there was some more support formed, versus here we're just keep going down. Even on green days, it doesn't seem to be doing very well. Yesterday, today every stock gapped up except for Netflix that opened down. It was just terrible. And then the other one that I'm looking at here is Roku. And the thing about Roku is you got to be very careful with Roku, because you can see here it gapped up. It was running, went up to 147. Yesterday it closed at like 142, ran to 147. You're like, wow, $5 move. That's insane. That's nuts. And yes, it is crazy. It is crazy. But as you can see how quickly that's taken away from you, 147 down to 141, and just got demolished. But what do you know? It made the V chart, the V chart, and we're back up to 147 like nothing ever happened. But if you're looking at the 52 week, this is very, very bullish in terms of how it keeps making 52 week highs here. And honestly, I underestimated Roku, because I was like, okay, they're just like, like a Fire Stick, or, everyone has these apps. I don't personally have a Roku. I mean, I have Xbox, I have Apple TV, I have iPads, I have everything. I don't have anything Roku. So I never really understood the value of that, but apparently they're going to be rolling out Disney Plus onto Roku and not onto Amazon devices. So they're thinking, I don't know. I mean, eventually I think this is going to kind of come back to reality, but for right now you got to kind of trade the trend, and it keeps pushing 52 week highs. So either short these massive rips, but it appears that it's more beneficial to buy the dips, even though like the dips are very, very scary. And then like on, what was this, Friday, it dipped and then it came back up. It stayed down. So I guess looking at the price action, get it early, get your gains, lock in the gains, and then the nice thing is this two-sided action. I did make some money on it last week. I haven't been trading it this week just because at this level it's been pretty scary, and the premiums are super jacked. So I mean, it's have a $7 move going into Wednesday. The premiums have come down a little bit due to the amount of time we have left in this contracts for this week, but still pretty pricey going into Wednesday here. So you just got to be careful and just trade accordingly. So those are stocks that I'll be looking at. If you guys have other stocks that you're looking at, tag them below, leave a comment. Let's take a look at what everyone's trading. Again, if you like this video, hit the like button, and if you want to join the UvH fam, links are below to our Discord and our free option trading group. Stay safe, stay green. It's always us versus herd.